So does everybody kind of get that idea of the valuation here? We've got now the Miami Dolphins. I worked for Wayne Huizenga. I had the real pleasure to work for who I believe is the greatest American businessman I've ever been around. And just smart man, obviously, a great sense of timing, a hard worker, first guy in, last guy out, wouldn't ask anybody to do anything that he wouldn't do himself. And just a brilliant man. And at the time, in the 90s, when we were living in Florida, he owned the Miami Dolphins, the Florida Marlins baseball team, the Florida Panthers hockey team. We bought a television station called Sports Channel Florida that we bought for $10 million from a guy by the name of Charles Dolan, who owns Cablevision. 3 years later, we sold it back to Charles Dolan for $110 million. I don't know how that happens, unless you're Wayne Huizenga. I'm going to buy something from you, but then I'm going to sell it back to you in 3 years at a $100 million profit. The guy's amazing. And Wayne also has something that very few people have, an incredible sense of market timing. Wayne bought the Dolphins in 1994, and I started working with him in 1995. But he bought the Dolphins and the stadium outright, Joe Robbie Stadium, for $114 million. Pretty good deal, since it cost $114 million just to build the stadium with partial public money in Miami, and the state of Florida contributed some of that money, as well as private money from the Robbie family. So the Robbie family had an estate tax issue. The laws were different back in the early 90s, and they had to let go of the team. And there was limited number of buyers. And Wayne was a guy who was pro-Florida, had founded Blockbuster, put the headquarters in Florida, had founded Waste Management, put their headquarters in South Florida. So he got a deal. There's no doubt about it. Well, his timing was impeccable when he decided to sell the team. In April of 2008, right before the real estate market tanked, Wayne closed on a transaction with Stephen Ross, who's a New York real estate developer. He got a double whammy. He develops real estate in New York, and he bought a team at the highest possible valuation. So his net worth of over about $3 billion was cut in half. But he did have a great billion-dollar shiny asset in the Miami Dolphins. So he spent $1.1 billion to buy the Miami Dolphins in April of 2008. 14 years after buying the Dolphins for $114 million, Wayne received a $1 billion profit. Unheard of. Unheard of. That's why these assets are so incredible. There has never been an NFL team to lose money. They're all great long-term buy and holds if you want to hold something and see the asset appreciate over a period of time. I think that's better than 5% in the market. It's better than T-bills. Better than a lot of things, actually. He just did a fantastic job. And with limited capital investment in the stadium and the team, you're pretty much locked in what your expenses are and what your revenues are. Your revenue should be able to cover your expenses. So it's not like you're coming out of pocket every year to pay to improve the asset or to make a capital expenditure.